Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we're taking a look at Malthael, the Angel of Death. We gotta dress him up for Christmas, right? Yeah, now he looks like the Angel of Death. Now we're there. He was changed in this last patch. It seems like a lot of what they were doing were trying to incentivize you not to rely so heavily on Tormented Souls. Basically, Tormented Souls before, when you jumped into a fight, it would give you armor, and it would also spread your trait around to everything. If your trait is on a target, you can soul rip it to heal. So jump into a fight, maybe hit a minion wave, maybe hit a bunch of heroes, and then just spam soul rip. And Malthael could basically stay alive through anything throughout the duration of his heroic ability. That's why it was so common to see things like Cocoon or Gorge used on Malthael when he engaged, because he would simply just chase your team around. He couldn't do anything to kill him. But they want to make last rites a little bit more appealing. They've lowered the cooldown. They've extended the kill window you need to actually take a target down. And they've made it so you don't get armor on Tormented Souls. So maybe we'll take a look at that today. We'll kind of see what we need. But I wanted to go for a Q build. I believe the Q build does have slightly less healing. Healing reduced from 44 to 36 per enemy hit. So again, a little bit less. But it's easier for him to spread his trait around in lane because his auto attack now cleaves. I don't know how much. I haven't seen a Malthael, or at least I didn't pay attention, and I haven't played Malthael since those changes. So we're going to find out today. Yeah, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on Volskaya Foundry today. The friendly team: Malthael, Maiev, the Butcher, Malfurion, and Falstad. The enemy team: Malthael, Kerrigan, Medivh, Alexstrasza, and Junkrat. This is going to be a ridiculously hard team for me to stick to, I think, but we're going to try nonetheless. It feels like every time I try to get into Malthael, especially in quick match, it just feels like this happens. Medivh can portal away. Medivh can get Kerrigan out of there. Junkrat can take himself away. Alexstrasza can ult away. Like, I want to chase people. I want to be the Angel of Death, but they just outrun me. We are going to go for Fear the... Actually, maybe. Would Wraith Strike be worth? Now, we can only Wraith Strike to something that does have... Well, that sucks. That does have our trait on it. But maybe that... I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to take the solo lane. Not going to worry about it. Let's go for Fear the Reaper. Activate to increase movement speed by 25% and pass through enemies. All right, let's see what our cleave actually looks like. So, if we attack the mage, we can hit all the archers. That's pretty good. Now, as a result of him getting a cleaving auto attack, they did lower the damage of his auto attack as well. Let's see if I can go help out in this fight in any capacity. Oh yeah, I'm going in on that. That's for sure. Hello, team. Don't mind me, just using my abilities. Fair and balanced hero Malthael. Actually, I took so much damage there. We were able to pick up a kill on Kerrigan, and I actually missed my E ability there. So the fact that we had the cleaving auto attack is how I was able to actually put my trait on Kerrigan and how I was able to kill her. If we didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Yeah, quality of life for the lane for sure. Now, he won't be able to 1v1 people as well as he was able to before. I hope that's obvious because he's not healing for as much. He doesn't deal as much damage with his auto attacks. So it is going to be a lot more difficult for Malthael to actually walk in and attack someone. But shit, when the minion wave is here, I kind of feel like it's so much easier to actually heal off of it. You have so many more options to actually heal off of it. Again, just kind of first impression. Now that my lane's pushed, let's rotate up here and try to get some kills on this Kerrigan. Actually, I'm going to go in on Medivh here. Get both of them. Look at that! Look at that! All right, and back down to my lane. We might actually be able to come up behind this Junkrat here. Now, I am going to pick up Die Alone. Like I said, we are going for a Q build. This may not be accurate, because like I said, I don't play a ton of Malthael, but it was my impression that Die Alone before, your Q had to be on a single target. Nice, 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 nice. We'll body block him away from his trap. Beautiful. Your Q had to be on just a hero. If it was on a minion, then you couldn't deal that critical hit damage to a hero. But now, Soul Whip deals 75% damage to heroes if it's on only one of them. Now, your trait can be on multiple heroes, right? But your Q ability, Die Alone, has to only hit one. Once again, coming in on these guys as we are coming up behind them here. So we dealt critical damage to that Alexstrasza. We dealt critical damage to that Kerrigan. And we might actually be able to continue this fight, dealing critical damage to the enemy team's Malthael now. I did get Kerrigan comboed, which obviously sucks, but you could see, even though we were surrounded by enemy heroes, it actually wasn't very difficult to actually proc the die alone. Which, again, my impression of that ability before, not being a Malthael player, just, you know, just kind of looking in from the outside, is, like, I would never pick that talent because I always have my trait on something. And especially if you go, oh, the butcher's dead. Oh, the butcher, yep. Especially if you went for Tormented Souls at 10, it was like, why would I ever pick that up? Well, the answer was it was good for chasing, right? It was good for actually chasing down these heroes and dealing damage to them, but... So, it looks like we are going to lose out on the objective. As many of you know, I'm not too worried about that. Volskaya objective is pretty bad. But I don't really feel like I can trade with a Malthael when his whole team is just above him here. So, we're going to let him push up. And just heal up to full. I'm kind of at a loss for when I should be using my E ability now, though. It doesn't seem anywhere near as vital in his kit as it once was. Like... Not even a little bit. I might be able to win this, depending on his talents. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to chase that. At least for a little bit. The friendly team is attacking. I'm gonna go join them. We are gonna go for Cold Hand, so our Soul Rip is going to slow enemy targets now as well. I imagine the Butcher is pretty well off on his quest for his trait, and that is indeed the case. Was that a dragon I saw forming? If that was, I'm a little afraid. A little afraid of this. Maybe it wasn't. So I guess our E ability should be used like right here just to put our trait on something. Or I guess at long range. Okay, it still has its uses. I was a little bit overeager with my snap judgment there. Looks like the enemy team's Malthael once again cut off. We are going to stun him. I'm going to jump in front of him as well and get thrown into the enemy team's base, but somehow still miraculously make it out. There's so much space there! Oh, shit. Oh, God. Guys, I was talking about level design. God, leave me alone. Why is there so much empty room over there? Jeez. Could you imagine a Genji? He could just live in that spot. We noticed that over here one time, too. What the fuck is this? This is like a block, a city block. You could just live on here without being hit by anything. All right. Rant completed. We actually did get the first objective of the game. The Butcher already has his quest done. The Butcher already has his quest done. Good game for the Butcher. Now, normally, when you see a Medivh, it kind of feels like it's going to be a hard Butcher game, but he's just been racking up kills. He's been doing some really good ganking. Already done with it. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so let's try it out. Let's go last rites. Apply a death sentence to an enemy hero that after 2 seconds deals damage equal to 50% of their missing health. So it's used in execute. Enemies killed between the application of blast rites and within 1.5 seconds after dealing damage permanently reduce the cooldown by 5 seconds up to a minimum of 15 seconds. So if we use this ability adequately, we can execute someone every 15 seconds. Now, is that good? You know, who the fuck knows? I'm gonna last rites this. Beautiful, actually. Or not last rites, but the movement speed increase, whatever that's called. All right, let's try to use it here. Nice! So we have 1 stack. We killed 1 hero. So instead of a 65-second cooldown, it's a 60-second cooldown now, right? It takes 5 seconds off. Isn't that correct? Yeah. Yeah, 5 seconds. Okay. I can read. Look at me. I did rotate down to the middle lane just because we are already level 10 and we can push this in with our whole team without having to worry about too much of a repercussion from the enemy team. The Daily Screen Freeze brought to you by Blizzard Entertainment and NVIDIA Incorporated. And we're back! Sorry, team. I froze. Hopefully we don't lose too much here. Oh, Butcher going in. Canceled it, actually. I also, you know, paused for the camera. Well, we're not going to tell him that part. It was my daily screen freeze. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Now, last rites was used on the friendly team's Malthael there. And she... did I say Malthael? I hope I didn't say Malthael last game, too. Holy shit, guys. It's 5 in the morning. It's not my fault. Was used on the enemy team's Maiev. but she didn't have her trait up to dodge it. She can 100% dodge that damage every time. She can just flip up with her trait, 8-second cooldown, and dodge that damage. How are we at taking mercenary camps? I don't know. Let's just keep spreading my trait around, I guess. If I could click adequately, that would be a big help. Wow, this is nothing. Okay. That's pretty good. I guess this isn't the most devastatingly difficult camp in the world as well, but I didn't know how good I would actually be at doing that. We are going to increase Soul Rip's healing here as well, just so we can, let's go ahead and execute him. We are going to increase Soul Rip's healing just so we can trade with people a little bit more. We have the solo application of our trait on that Medivh, so we could deal critical hit damage to him. He's in bird form now, so that's over, but I'm just gonna go Silk. I'm chilling, team. They have 2 dead for the moment. I'm just gonna get this. Then I can rotate back up top and help with that. We already have an XP lead. We might as well maintain that lead, right? That mercenary camp I picked up did do a little pushing, but is not gonna get very much value. I don't want to push up any further than that. We do have our, Fear the Reaper to kind of escape, but it's not that good of an escape. It's just a slight movement speed increase. At best, I think we could dodge a Kerrigan combo, but then Medivh could just portal her right back in, right? So we do need to be a little careful. We'll just come in here and cleave. Get our trait on all this stuff. I still think a trait build would be fine. In fact, a trait build might be easier with this setup, but Q build seems pretty fun too. Next, we're going to increase the range of our Q, which does have a little bit of counter synergy with die alone, but we'll try it. Oh, he's so dead. I might be dead too, though. Here, let's just put it on him. There we go. There we go. Okay, I have to walk through this small little choke point with a Junkrat on the other side. Oh, we're dead. Okay. Okay. We did manage to get the objective, though. Sounded like a leyline seal was also just used. And I'm not seeing anyone in stasis, so we can assume that was whiffed. The Butcher did go down. He classic Greymane syndrome. Got his stacks. He's like, I gotta go in. Gotta go kill them all. Just relax sometimes. Gotta chill the fuck out. It does appear as though we are going to get this top fort down, although barely with the health reserves that we currently see on that objective. Falstad is going to barrel roll back, so he doesn't have that escape if Kerrigan does decide to engage right now. And it looks like their team may be pushing forward. Is Kerrigan dead? I'm not seeing a Kerrigan. There she is. Barrel rolls back up by now, though. The silence does not hit! And now the Sentinels do go up, keeping the enemy team in that circle. Butcher going in is going to be able to take down Malthael, or is he? He's so deep! This is a fucking... He's in a 1v4! Alright, I'm bailing. I just got here, though. Hey! Wasn't gonna stay in that. Just wanted to deal a little bit of damage. Is this camp up again soon? 6 seconds. We'll go get that. We'll go... Oh. Well, why, hello. I was really hoping she would try to combo me right then. Wasn't expecting them to rotate over to our camp. Took another death there. Like I said, not a good Malthael player, even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I've tried. See, with Greymane last video, I feel like I'm a decent Greymane player. I just never really commit to playing him because I feel like he's kind of too good at everything. Which, is like, shouldn't you play something that's too good at everything? I don't know. It's just kind of on principle. Like, I didn't play Garrosh when Garrosh was the king of the world because he was too good at everything. I only played Hanzo when he was busted to make busted videos. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's go back in. Soul Collector is going to come up at 16. We did just lose our Maiev. We've been staggering deaths a lot, and the enemy team is using that to catch back up to the game. And, I'm part of the issue there as well. We could try to just keep these guys at bay. Not really intending on engaging super hard here. Just sending the E forward to deal that trait damage. It looks like Falstad in a little bit of trouble, but is going to disengage with the help of Malfurion and those roots. The Butcher does take over the mercenary camp just above us that I just died for on my last death. Is the enemy team moving over here to take this? No, it looks like moving down to the bottom lane to defend against our mercenary camp push. So I will jump in here and try to finish this off. Just keep our trade on both these things. Kind of feels like we're playing Sylvanas, taking mercenary camps. Obviously, the stuff doesn't get frozen, but just the art of keeping your trade on as many things as possible. Very reminiscent of that. We do see the Butcher engaging Medivh in the top lane. Does look like he was winning, but Medivh is just going to portal out of there. Now, Kerrigan on the rotation up to him. We'll just ping danger a couple times just so he knows that she is on the way. I'm actually totally in favor of taking this camp. We know Medivh is already weak, and Medivh is already on the back foot. I'm going to put the turret down. And it looks like we are going in, boys. I'm going to go ahead and put my trade. Oh, God. Okay, I fucked up. I put my trade on Alexstrasza. Was not expecting that. Also, 100% just stood in the ult of the enemy team's Junkrat without fucking noticing as well. Yep, feels bad. Feels real bad. But that was a good engagement for our team. Use the excuse me, use the turret that we picked up from that bottom camp to kind of help secure that, and I think it was, you know, it did its job. It's still dealing some damage. Do I get credit for that damage? I do. Ooh, how exciting. Stacking our numbers while we're dead. We're feeding. We're feeding. Ugh, shit. So, the problem with Last Rites is it's still hard to put your trade on everything. Right? Yeah, you have your auto attack. And granted, like I said, this enemy team is slippery. Real slippery. But, I mean, I need to have my trade on stuff to heal. And just doing that at this point has been difficult. Or at least I haven't been doing it well. Let's put it that way. The Medivh portal is down and rotating in. We are going to see the roots on Kerrigan, but not quite land. Going in with my ult on the enemy team's Junkrat, and he is going to die. That's going to be another stack for us. Going to increase my movement speed here just so we can stay in range of Kerrigan and try to take her down. Looks like we can do that, no problem. And the enemy team's Alexstrasza is going to die immediately after as well, securing not only a full team wipe for the friendly team, but also the objective. Now I'm going to jump to the middle lane just to farm this up and try to get us as close to 20 as I can while they are pushing the bottom lane. We're also missing a little bit of health, so taking this time to heal while the enemy team is dead, probably not a bad idea. I do not agree with the decision to kind of take the fort. I think we should have gone straight for middle lane, but not that big of a deal.
There goes the fort.
At the end of the day, we're still going to get plenty of time in here. I don't think this push is anything we need to consider ourselves with. And let's just try to get up here and deal as much damage as we can. I mean, the Butcher's going to be hitting for 600-700 damage right now. Once he hits level 20 anyway. So, if we can rush this down, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. This tower dying is going to bring us up to level 20. I don't know what to take at 20. Probably final curtain still, right? Just leave this out. Say, hey, you want my trait? Go ahead and walk into it. Go ahead and walk into that shit. And that way we can also like cut off our escape a little bit, like cut the lane in half and just bail. Try to stay alive that way. Malthael pushing middle lane. Looks like we are going to be moving up as a team here. I am hit by the Kerrigan combo. Gonna try to just get my trade on those minions to heal up, but the Butcher did cleave him down right away. Furion is keeping me alive with regrowth though, so that's good. We find ourselves in a pretty scary situation actually. I'm just gonna continue to throw my E forward all the time and just try to spread my trait. Now, having the E down all the time, not quite as good as it would be if we went for the trait build. We're not dealing that critical hit damage or anything because we are so focused on our Q. So I think the right thing to do here is just continue to throw this down so they're kind of deterred from following us and just disengage. Unless we can get a sick root here, actually. No roots, okay. We are going for the boss heal up in the top. They're going to be able to do that no problem. I was just about to say we should once again invade their objective and clear that, but actually with how spread out they are right now, we could simply push the top lane, probably get a decent amount of value out of this. Let's throw the E out so we can trait the entire minion wave and push in with this. I mean, we know they're separated, so I think the Butcher should be pretty aggressive here. That Kerrigan combo hits so many of us. I wish I was good at this game. All right, time to back up. Time to back up. They've had time to kind of regroup. The keyline pie is going out, so we are going to need to jump back in if we want to save our allies. Here we go, the cleaves! I put my trait on Kerrigan. Is she gonna die? Yes, she is! Or my ult on Kerrigan. She did go down. We know that Alexstrasza is up in the air, but with 3 members of the enemy team dead, we should not be afraid to push in here at all. Hopefully I get a regrowth. Really hoping I get a regrowth. Really? There it is. All right. All right, this building is dead. I think we should go for core. I think we should go for core. We got a level 21 butcher with 310 stacks. I'm going to let him take that, and I'm just going to put my trait up in front of the well. So if they want to walk over there, I just get free critical hit damage on them. All right, like I said, definitely not the best Malthael in the world. Does it work in there? No. That would have been... Actually, does it work in there? But he got in bird form? I'm not too sure. We can body block Alex Struzzi here for a moment and take her down. And that is going to be... GG. You know, for waking up at 2 a.m. and starting to play Heroes, pretty good. Pretty good couple of games. I didn't know what to expect from 5:30 in the morning Heroes. Guess who worked out. All right, boys. So, that is going to be the new Malthael. Seemed fine. Again, you know, just judging it by quick match. But it seemed like it was like we were chilling. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. The talents we used in today's video, if you want to play along at home: Fear the Reaper, Die Alone, Cold Hand, Last Rites, Soul Siphon, Soul Collector, and the Final Curtain. His level 20 talent choices kind of suck. Now, Final Curtain is much better if you pick up the level 4 trait quest, so it increases the duration, and then the level 13 talent, Ethereal Existence. No, that's not the talent. What's the talent? 16, sorry. Memento Mori. Disregard that. Memento Mori, where you deal 80% increased damage if your trait is on a target for longer. Because then you just kind of throw your E out, and if they walk into it, you deal a buttload of damage. I don't really feel like it fit into our build at all, but Angel of Death healing us. I don't know. Maybe that would be good. Maybe that, I don't know. We'll see. Thank you all for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, and you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of everything we upload here on the channel. Hit the thumbs up button as well. And we will be back with more Heroes of the Storm in the very near future. Thank you all for the support, and I will see you all next time. Okay, bye.